Episode 10, Don't Risk It TV. We made it to double figures. I'm Mick.
And I'm Steve.
Today we're going to talk about the new technology from Australia Post in relation to digital ID cards that we can use for entry into nightclubs, digital proof of age over online purchases and verification.
Yep.
So it's only been out for a short period of time. A lot of people aren't actually aware of this new ID card. There's been some signage that's gone out to licensed venues in relation to it, and hopefully the venues have changed their signage that reflect that.
So the new signage came out on the 20th of June.
20th of June.
And a lot of people have been confused because they've seen you've seen it, Mick.
I've seen it, yeah.
So the new signage has got all of the IDs that I guess everyone's seen. The key pass itself has got a bit of a new look. So it used to have that old sort of the silver and red look.
Pretty outdated sort of design on it.
So they've updated the design on the key pass.
But they're using technology, because I mean, how many people are out nowadays, especially the younger generation?
That's it.
Not necessarily me, but the younger generation that they have their mobile phone and they live by it. Now, Australia Post has come up with this new concept of using the digital ID in the phone. It's with the person all the time, and it proves that they are 18 years of age.
That's right. Yeah. And people have seen this on the new signage and said, well, hang on, what's that?
How do we use that?
How do we use that?
Yeah.
And as a user, it's actually really, really simple. All you need to do is take your existing ID, which can be if you have a driver's license and a Medicare card, that's all
so
you need.
apply for the key part, so 100 points of ID, apply through the Australia Post app.
Yes.
Although you do have to get it verified at a post office.
That's right. And it can't be a
sub-agent or something like that.
Yes,
it's got to be a post office.
It has to be a corporate post office, not a privately owned post office.
So they'll verify once you go through the app. On the system, and then all we need is the app on the phone. As say we're security, we're at a venue, a person comes up and they present their mobile phone.
Yes.
Now right now, if someone presented the mobile phone at me, say, "Look, what am I going to do with that?"
That's right, and I think this is the problem that is going to confront a lot of venues, and that is simply they're not going to know how to verify the ID.
What tools do we use to do this? So it is pretty straightforward. So me as the security officer, I just open up a device, a mobile device. I'll just do my code word here.
And I'll just bring up my ID.
I'm not of the younger generation, so I'll put on my glasses and I'll bring up the appropriate app, which is Digital ID from Australia Post. I open up the app. Now, me as to verify an ID, I enter in a PIN number to open up the app, which when I've logged onto the system and created my ID, I am going to go to scan.
And for me, I'll just scan my fingerprint because, us new people use biometrics.
Biometrics.
So I've got my ID right here, if you can see it. So it presents with a barcode, which is a QR code. And your photo and your name and date of birth. That's all the information it gives. And that QR code actually changes constantly.
Yes. So it's not actually a photo on the phone. So it's not someone else's photo. This code changes all the time.
That's right.
So it brings up, I'll put my camera which has got a QR code reader.
Yes.
Okay. So I'll aim it at the QR code. There we are. Now what comes up with me, it shows a picture of the person. It'll say 18 plus and that they're fine, verified. Now, if I was to try and scan, if that was an image, if I tried to do that in, say, 5 or 6 minutes' time, it would not be verified because that code is changing all the time.
Correct. So the idea is it's got a lot of safety built into this to make sure that people can't fraudulently get around the system by just taking a screenshot. It's
not a screenshot.
You can't
it's an active code.
Yeah,
it's an active code.
Yes.
So now the other side around this is... and we made some inquiries with the VCGLR here in Victoria about what if a licensed venue can't or doesn't have the equipment to verify, and that's the only piece of ID the person has.
And this is where it gets into a bit of a tricky situation because I might turn up and this is the only ID I've got on me, and the signage might say...
And it's on the signage,
It's on the signage saying that it is a valid form of ID. However, there is no obligation for the venue to have the equipment or to accept that ID. So the venue actually has to be set up to have the equipment and to be able to accept that ID.
So a person who's going to be validating or checking IDs on the door needs to have some form of mobile device that is connected to the net and has a phone number connected to it.
That's right.
So it can activate. Now, in saying that, we've been scanning each other for a couple of days just testing the system, that even though I've scanned your ID, I cannot retain any information from that scan.
That's right. The protocols are in place. There's no information. It doesn't actually say that Mick has scanned my code. There's no information about who has scanned. It does tell me that my information has been verified.
Scanned. Yeah.
But it doesn't say who by.
Who by.
And at the same time, my information is not retained.
I can't record the information.
And you can't even screenshot the information.
I can't screenshot the information.
It won't. The app has security features that won't let you do that.
So,
either.
I mean, looking in relation to the national standard, there's 10 privacy principles. So it's covering those 10 privacy principles.
That's right.
So yes, I can verify it. Yes, you can prove that the person is over age, and they can enter a premises, and that's all that can be done with it.
The other problem that we thought might come up is if a security guard at the door is set up to accept they have got the app installed, they have got their own personal mobile phone, and they're quite happy to do the verification. But then they're on a break or they're not there the following week, and that person comes back to the same venue, and all of a sudden we're presented with, but hang on, I was able to get in last week.
I was able to get in last week, but the person on the door right now hasn't got a device that's able to scan.
That's right. So it's probably, we think it would be a best policy is that if the managers and the staff had a discussion about digital ID and they came up with a policy where either they were all in agreement that they are either they're going to accept digital ID and everyone's going to use their own devices, or B, the
premises put a phone there.
Yep, the premises will supply
verification.
The other option is that they simply say we
choose not to. We choose
will
not
not
to
be accepting the ID.
Look, I think it's a great step forward.
I think it's fantastic.
So many people. I mean, I'm connected to my mobile phone all the time. It's a great idea.
Yes.
And look, the other side I looked at it was that if I put a driver's license in right now to a device, it has all my details on it, and all I'm showing is that, yes, I'm of age. Now, there's no way I'm not going to get any marketing tools, anything sent out to me, stuff like that, which is great. I don't need all that stuff.
So it actually gives you a little bit more privacy.
Gives you a bit of privacy.
Handing over your
Still complying with the law. Still complying with the law. Although, if someone asked me my date of birth, I'd be happy to show any ID. Yes, I'm over 18. But look, it's still complying with the law. It's a very useful tool. It's a brand new tool. A lot of people wouldn't have seen it. A lot of people haven't even heard about it yet. I think it's great.
I think it's great. I think it's one of those things of like the tap and pay options.
Look, at first people going, oh no, I'm not going to do that PayWave stuff, and now everyone live like PayWave.
And now people are doing it with their cards, and now people are starting to do that more with their phones.
Yeah,
it's now becoming quite a trend where people will go out and the only thing they take with them will be their phone.
The phone,
and they'll do all the payments with their phone. And now with this new app, they don't even have to take their ID.
That's right.
Because if they're not driving. There's no need for to take anything else.
Now, in the end of the video, we'll have the links to the website and the app and some screenshots of how this is all put together.
Absolutely.
And it's really, really simple. Look, it took us, 2 minutes to put it together?
It took 2 minutes to install, not even that. I think about 30 seconds to install the app.
Yeah.
You don't have to sign up for anything if you're just doing the scan. So if you're just installing it to verify IDs, you don't have to sign up for anything. The only time you have to sign up is if you want to use the ID to be verified to get into.
Look, it's very simple to use. I can see this being a great tool. Very simple to use. It's just what policies put in place at the venue or the place is going to be using this verification tool. but it was great.
That's it.
Yeah. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. Hope it's been really educational, and we'll get to use more technology in the future.
Technology. Love it.
Thanks very much. Don't forget to subscribe.